This is my Redcat Machete, and the last time I drove this thing, absolutely stripped out the idler gear. That is right, comes off the pinion, goes through the transmission, stripped some teeth off of this bad boy. And so in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I disassemble, get to this idler gear, and replace it. If you are new to the channel, my name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. You'll tend to find me bashing or crawling or drifting or racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. Let's get the body off, start fixing this truck. Oh yeah. Oh, that's some crunchiness. That is bad. Step 1, 2mm driver on these 4 screws. Off comes that cover, and we can immediately see here, this is the idler gear. There's teeth missing. Lots and lots of teeth missing. One right there, one right there. There's number 3. That one, that's what we're trying to get to replace. Now we can't get this out anymore until we get this cross brace out. So with a 2.5mm driver, we're going to come up here and get these 2 screws off so that we can pull up this center brace. After taking the set screw out, you can then slide this back, and that's going to help us free up the transmission from the drive shafts. I'm going to flip it over and take the screws out from the transmission on the bottom. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 screws out. This motor and transmission assembly is now loose, and we will be able to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws in order to separate this transmission case. And there is our culprit with all of its missing teeth. This is a good idea. It's a good time to check that center diff and make sure. It looks like the teeth on it nice and strong, no issues there. If you want to change your center diff fluid to change how the truck drives, now's a great time to do that. Comparing the old part here, you can see we have the main gear itself. We have a little red shim. We have the center spline, the center kind of key that goes in there, so it goes together this way. The new product, you can see that is still here. We have this. I also noticed that on the old one it had this what looked like a little shim, and I thought that was kind of odd. Looking here in the case, that's actually the shield of the bearing. So what's nice is the new parts come with new bearings, so I can pull this old bearing out. Although it seems like it works nice, it's just missing its shield. I can pull it out, and it comes with the new bearings. Now, I noticed that there is a little washer here. It looks like maybe there's a washer under this bearing that helps with the shimming there. So we're going to look to see if we still need that. Yeah, there you go. So old bearing is destroyed. Has a little shim, little washer shim. Fortunately, Redcat does provide the new bearings, so we can be able to just pop one of those right back on. Bearings replaced, gears back in. We're going to just start bolting everything back together. I'm going to skip forward past some of this, throwing all these in. I will stop and let you know if there's any hiccups or hurdles along the way. Make sure to note that as you put these back together, there were 4 screws here that were much longer. They go 1, 2, 3, 4. It was all the shorter ones that go on these outer 3 around that center diff. Long ones go over here. We're back all torn apart now. So I noticed as I put it back together, it didn't want to, it would roll freely, but it wasn't engaging the motor. Turns out the pinion had slipped forward a little bit, so that was one thing that's not awesome, is the pinion had actually moved back and forth, stopped engaging that gear. So, but I noticed as I did that, I have a lot of wiggle here. I don't know if it comes across on camera, but the motor had actually loosened up from the motor mount. I wonder if that's actually why I stripped this gear in the first place. This motor was giving, which then changes the gear mesh in here. You loosen up that gear mesh with this motor flopping around, and all of a sudden you strip the gear out. So this might have been actually the reason why that idler gear stripped in the first place. So now we need to loosen up the gear mesh, and we need to slide this out and tighten up that motor. Oh man, these bolts right here, not even tight. Same thing with the motor mount bolts. Actually, they were both also loose. You didn't even have to break them loose, just literally unscrew them. So that is a thing. If you are getting this truck, there's a screw at the bottom, 2 at the top. You might want to make sure at least the 2 in the top are Loctited. If you do, slide it out and go ahead and Loctite these while you're at it, because they may loosen up on you. Ah, now that's better. Now we're ready to go. Honestly, I think that last tip there about the motor mount and the gear screws, that was probably the biggest deal. If I'm honest, like, that's probably what caused this issue. So if you have it, I hope you watched the video this far so that you saw that piece, because that's probably the key to why your idler gear started losing teeth in the first place. So it's time for me to do a couple of little things with this Redcat Machete. I'm going to get on that. If you have any other thoughts or questions or anything that I've done with this Redcat Machete, be a playlist popping up over here to your right. Hope to see you in one of those videos. Thank you and goodbye.